Okay. Anyway, not necessarily a game one might think of when one thinks about creepy stages. I mean, overall, it's a rather happy-go-lucky adventure game about a purple-haired boy looking for his grandfather's bracelet that was stolen by pigs because Japan. And therefore it pales in comparison to offerings like the Himuro Mansion, Silent Hill, or even the Forest from RE4 in terms of scary locales. Or even stages from other happy games like the Spooky Village from Paper Mario or the Ghost House from Final Fantasy VII. But still, there is one place in particular from this game that has always stood out to me from the rest. And that stage is the Haunted Mansion. Ooh, I'm a ghost. Okay. While not necessarily the scariest of places, it stands out to me not just because of how it's brought to life, but also because it's one of the few cases where you get to unhaunt a haunted mansion. You see, the pigs what stole Tomba's bracelet also kinda corrupted the land somehow. And in that process, they managed to turn this beautiful sunlit manor into whatever it is you see before you right now. And it is up to Tomba to turn it back to its original state. Sadly. I say that because I think it actually looks much cooler the way that it is now. The dark, thunderous skies, the birds patrolling up high. And I would not be remiss or taking the piss when I say that the doors have eyes. And when combined with the 2.5D graphics, it really makes this stage look like a horror 3D pop-up book thingy, whatever you call them. It actually paints quite a dark picture overall, especially in contrast to how the rest of the game looks. I mean, I don't know if I've stated this properly, but the doors do have faces, and not just any faces either, but like frowny, Halloweeny, pumpkin-y faces. I don't know about you, mate, but that's some fucking grade A horror shit right there, if you ask me. Add to that the exceptionally fitting soundtrack and the overly compressed 60s thunder sound effects, and you end up with this really concentrated extract of cartoony, Halloweeny horror. Only then with pigs. Anyway, as I said before, the objective of the game is not only to get back your grandpa's bracelet, but also to untaint the tainted land of tainty taints. And a part of this is to get rid of the hauntedness of the haunted mansion. But the weird thing about this is that it's never really made clear as to what exactly is haunting the haunted mansion in question. I mean, I know pigs and stuff, blah blah blah, but in all of the other locales, it's always something that's practical, tangible, fantastical. Think of things like weird fungi taking over a forest or a strong wind that makes a mountain path unpathable. These are things that can be fairly directly traced back to the pigs' magic. But the mansion being haunted would imply that it's being haunted by something. And that something ain't the pigs. No, it's actually this old man. Okay, well, not really. I think it's fairly safe to assume that they just really didn't think this through all that much, and that they just wanted a haunted mansion in their game. And I can't really blame them. As to me at least, this is the most memorable place from the entire game. Not necessarily because of the objective being any different than from the rest of it, but mostly just because of how it looks and sounds. The enemies, the music, the various locked doors and little secrets, all covered in this dark, gloomy setting of cartoony wonderment, just really made it unforgettable to me. And I say that fully realizing that this is a game that has a jungle filled with indigenous Michael Jackson impersonators. But in any case, the process of essentially exorcising the pig-infested taint is quite cool. And because of that and all of the other reasons what I mentioned, this level is most definitely worthy of the title Sexy Stage.